Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to SlopeClub. It's time for another album discussion video. Yep, I'm Boy, and with me today, Tron and Josh. What's up?
What it do?
The three of us, we make a triangle.
Oh, look at that.
It's finally time for us to talk about an album from our namesake, right? SlopeClub. It's time to talk about Nogizaka46, you know? We're going to talk about their first album, Toumei na Iro. All right, so Nogizaka46, they are the first part of Sakamichi series, the new franchise, right? Nogizaka was made as a rival to AKB48 in 2011. We talked about AKB48's album in our first album discussion. And much like AKB48, Nogizaka has a rotating member lineup for their songs. And I guess now you can kind of argue that they have surpassed AKB in some way. Ooh, controversial.
That could be an argument. Yeah, I can see that.
They are kind of the most popular, kind of most well-known idol group currently in the Japanese pop mainstream, right? Part of Sakamichi series. That's where we got our name, right? Sakamichi is a slope, is a hill, is a slope. So
you never thought this album discussion would come out, seeing how long all these albums are.
Finally.
It has finally come.
It is here.
But, yeah, if you know anything about Nogizaka, they kind of present this kind of demure and elegant image compared to other idol groups. You know, a lot of the members are aesthetic, right? They're pretty. They work as models, right?
Always on TV, always on magazines, on advertisements.
But they're all actually goobers, if you know anything about Nogizaka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the album, Toumei na Iro, is their first album. And it was released January 2015. But they were formed 2011.
Only took them 4 years.
Yeah, this album consists of their first 10 singles, which is over the period of 2 years. That's a lot of singles to put in an album. And to clarify, for this discussion and review, we only listen to the one that's on Spotify.
Yes.
Because, you know, it's convenient, right? A lot of people can get on Spotify and check it out.
That's how most people are probably going to consume this, the legal way.
But for the actual release of the album, there were 2 CDs, 3 different types. Type C is what this album that we're listening in on Spotify is. It's Type C.
Oh, okay.
So the album that we listen to on Spotify, 15 tracks. The last 4 tracks are new songs, and then all the 10 singles are there, and then we got the overture. Talk about those later.
Yeah, and Boy and I are very familiar with these songs. But Tron, how are you on these?
Yeah, do you know Nogizaka, my guy?
I know. Okay, so let's be completely honest and truthful. Out of this album, before listening to it, I knew 3 songs from this album, and that was the first 3 singles that Nogizaka released, right? So you have Guruguru Curtain, Oide Shampoo, and Hashire Bicycle. After that, I kind of just fell off the idol game a little bit, so I never really followed them after those 3 albums.
So you paid attention when Nogizaka made their debut.
Oh yeah, they were the rival to AKB, right? I mean, that's what they were. Sony brought in the big guns and brought a group of girls to try to compete with AKB back in the day.
So for me,
Yeah.
I was the other way around. I was still a big AKB fan back then.
I was too. I was like, who the F are these girls coming in trying to...
Oh yeah, exactly.
That
was my thought.
No, I was totally what's Sony trying to do?
Okay, so you fell into the trap, the marketing trap.
That's why I didn't pay attention to them. I was like, I don't need to waste my time on these girls. I have AKB. Why would I need to listen to these
they were unproven, right? They're like, yo, how are you going to be releasing these type of songs when AKB is at the top of their game, right? AKB was at their prime.
Exactly.
And they just weren't as good. That's why I thought
they got
initially.
that Sony backing while my girls, grinded from the streets of Akihabara, you know,
passing out napkins,
passing out flyers, performing in front of empty tables and chairs and shit. Like, you know, that sounds like, you know. So I was full on AKB48 when the group came out.
I was the same. I too brushed them off. But now it is their prime, right? Nogizaka's at the top, and they're actually like my favorite idol group now.
What do you think of their overture compared to AKB? Like,
well, I mean, let's get into it. Let's start with the overture.
Let's start with the overture, because I'm curious what you guys think of this.
It's kind of hype, but it's like subdued at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I still feel like, ooh, yeah, Nogizaka, they're coming.
But I think comparing it to the AKB one, it doesn't have the chanting, which I think really gets the crowd hyped up.
You know, it has like this breezy feel to it.
I put down, sounds like a start screen background music for a DDR game, like a rhythm music. It's like something like before you hit start to get into like Beat Mania or DDR. This is the song that plays before you get into the actual menu of the game. That's how it sounded like. Like, it's not as like hype, quote unquote, as it would be like an AKB overture, which I don't know if any overture can be as hype as AKB's overture, but like it's pretty good. But like, yeah, I mean, I was at first when I listened to it, I'm like, this is your overture, huh? Okay, all right, I see you.
It's not like, oh, get hype, but it's more of like a nice like rolling building.
It builds, so it kind of builds that anticipation. So I imagine if you're sitting at a concert, it's kind of like, all right, I'm getting ready. But then with the AKB one, you're getting hyped for it.
It's a different style, so it kind of, Nogizaka has a different image that they present, and so.
All right, so should we go down the line since
we're going in order, I guess. The chronological release. Let's go. Guruguru Curtain first single.
Okay, you can tell this is really early Nogizaka.
I hated this song when it first came out, honestly.
Oh, me
this is
too.
What you come out with? This is how you step into the ring? You bring this to the party as your first debut single to AKB? So I remember what is this group? They're gonna be gone after like 3 singles probably. They're gonna disband. So it's like, this song was, but okay. So I want to preface this is how I felt over time though. Re-listening to the song, it's not that bad. You know, I think it's grown on me. Yeah.
It's quaint. It's tame.
It felt like they were kind of going throwback-ish, right? Like a certain era of idol pop, like the Showa era kind of, but not like full-on 80s style. They're just kind of pulling that vibe.
You see that especially in the vocals, how they sing the song.
Like listening to it again, I kind of like parts of the verses. It has kind of that guitar pop jangle sound. It's like clean guitar, right?
So I think about like when this song came out in 2012, 2011. I'm just thinking of like what came out during that time for AKB. I feel like Everyday Kashusha was like at the same time. So like I'm just like thinking back in the day, like comparing this song to that song is like, oh my god, you can't.
And then second single, Oide Shampoo. I felt that it had kind of the same vibe as Guruguru Curtain. Right?
That's exactly
they're
what
kind
I
of
wrote,
continuing with this trend.
Yeah, for me it feels a little more fresh, a little more newer, right, compared to the last one, even though it's the same vibe.
I felt like this was the beginning of what the Nogizaka kind of sound evolved into. A lot of strings.
Yeah, again, this song has grown over me over time. Again, this is another song that like when it first came out, I'm just like, this is what you're bringing to the table again. Nogizaka versus AKB. This is my mentality back in 2012, 2011, right? This is just how it's now I feel like right now, right? But the song itself, I enjoy it. A little bit slow, a little bit similar to Guruguru Curtain, but has grown over time for me.
Like they'd play the intro part all the time in like their TV shows and whatnot, and I had no idea what it was from because I just didn't listen to this song when it came out. I just kind of like whatever, right? So like revisiting it, it's like, oh, it's from Oide Shampoo. I see.
I can say after listening to it so much, you kind of want to like dance along with it. You kind of want to be like, Oide Shampoo.
That's why it feels more like older idol stuff, right? Where it wasn't.
It has a more retro vibe to it.
And then they released Hashire Bicycle.
Let's talk about this.
Oh, Tron. You sound like you like this one.
I think you like this.
Before listening to this album, this was probably my favorite song from Nogizaka. This was such a good song. So yeah, it kind of alludes that there's a song on this album that is now my favorite Nogizaka. So, for now, I mean, I'm very early in my Nogizaka discography, so I'm not too exposed. But like, I remember this song came out. I was just right at the end of me kind of like transitioning out of the idol fandom a little bit. This song when I first heard it was like, I don't know why. It just really hit me. I really enjoyed the melodies and like just like the free happy spirit it comes out of it. I don't know. It's like it's the trumpets. Yeah, and then like this is actually was like my favorite song of the year of 2011, 2012 when I did like
when it came out.
like,
I think 2012.
2012 for like when I did the NSK podcast or end of the year awards. This song was my favorite song of that year. Yeah, and it was so funny because like my co-host like David and they knew how much I used to dog Nogizaka before, like the two singles before. How much I used to just dog
what a
them
twist.
Like, so hard, and I just swerved them like and brought this song out. There's something about it, like you can tell it's not because of the members, it's not because of like me, like Oshin a certain. It's just a song that just really hit me, and it has to this day. I don't know. I know it's not that popular of a song for like a lot of Nogi fans, right? But
yeah, I don't think a lot. I see a lot of Nogi fans talk about Hashire.
It's hard to find a song on YouTube. If I just want to like look at the music video, it's like it's almost impossible to find. I remember the music video being very like chic, like French.
Yeah, it had that image to it, right?
Yeah, and like it's like almost impossible to find a decent quality version of it on YouTube or anywhere. But I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this song.
I'm surprised that was your song of the year for 2012.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
And then you were saying like AKB was, dude. AKB released stuff like Uza and like Manatsuno sounds good.
Manatsuno sounds good. I think it was like number 2 or 3 that year for me.
Yeah, this is kind of forgettable for me.
Oh, really?
Like it had like a straightforward pop song or pop sound, right? And it's like, okay.
I think just the arrangement for me, just like it's just very whimsical for me. It's just very vibrant.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it.
There's some nice melodies though, like in the pre-chorus sections and the.
Yeah, I actually like the song. I think there's a lot of details in it, like the drums, how they go according to the song. Like there's like I especially like the part where it goes bum, bum, bum. Tsh.
Oh yeah, it has a nice melody in that part.
Yeah. It's like at the end of the chorus, I think somewhere around there, and then like little things like little wind-ups to lead to the chorus, or even like the jazzy instruments that are in there at times.
Yeah, so that was third single. Fourth single, Seifuku no Mannequin. This is finally when I was like, finally, dude. They put out something good.
This is the first time I heard the song.
Really?
Last week. Like during this album review last week or two. This is the first time. I'm pretty sure I heard like bits of it in passing, and I probably heard it in like compilation stuff or just like randomly. But like from start to finish is my first time listening to it.
Were you already out of the idol game?
By then, I was already like mostly like out. But no, this song's really good, dude. I'm so very surprised how it had like an SKE vibe and energy to it. I'm not sure if that makes sense to some people, but I feel like when some of the more powerful songs that SKE used to put out back in the day, I kind of had that feeling.
Up to this release, I completely ignored them. Right? And then first 3 singles, whatever, dude. And then they put out Seifuku no Mannequin, and I was like, oh, I'm like that DiCaprio meme from Django Unchained. I like turned around.
Exactly.
They switched their style, right? They went for a cooler like synth pop style, a little bit more like dance involved into it, right? I really, really like this song. The verse parts were like really heavily piano driven, so it gave that like cool like vibe to it. I was like, hell yeah, dude! Nogizaka finally.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a different turn for this era of Nogizaka. Like I always loved the first 3 songs together, and then this one's like the little tail end of the conclusion of the Ikuma Arena saga. And I think for me, this song is all about the chorus. Like whenever I hear the chorus, I just hear the fans chanting "woohoo" with it.
I think Nogizaka doesn't like arrange their music to where it would have sections for the mix, like AKB's music would, right? And so the fans are kind of forced to look for other ways.
Yeah, there's a couple of songs where they do that, but it's usually uncommon.
Like I'm just so gravitated to songs from Hello Project and AKB because the arrangements allow you to have mixes in where you can call out for the girls, and that's why it makes I want to circle back to like my kind of like not having single lines affects you not being able to like put in a chant or a mix or call out a girl, like, you know, just like hype a girl up. You don't really see that in Nogizaka and Sakamichi in general, right? So I think that's another reason why it's kind of like hard for me to get not hard for me to get into it, but just like it's different for me.
I'm not like the biggest fan of mixing, so I kind of prefer
I love me some mixing.
Nogizaka or any other Sakamichi series groups. Just do the song without being like without having the need to like make space for the mix. It's not in this album, but some of the later songs Nogizaka released, like the mix should not even be close to it, but the waters still mix. Like,
they should give the fans what they want then, man. Like I would love for you guys to send me a song that has like the most song that has like you try to think like this is the best mix quote song that has been composed for the Wodas. I would love to just take a listen to that, see if I like it or not, because
Yeah, well, they made one specifically for mixing.
Put it in the comments.
yeah, let me know. Send it to me.
But yeah, Seifuku no Mannequin. This is when my interest was peaked. I was like, oh,
eyebrow raised. There we go.
And then they released fifth single Kimi no Nawa Kibou, and I was like, I'm in. Let's go, dude.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite Nogi song.
Really?
Like, yeah, it totally got me into Nogizaka. I think it's like super pretty. It has a very gentle and like nice build up with all the single instruments, right? I really like the dynamic it has between rhythm section that's like really driving, right, with the kick drum always there, but then the instrumentation above it is like breezy, you know, very kind of like floaty. The strings and the piano and the acoustic guitars, and then their like vocal melodies are very like wispy too. They're not like singing super hard or anything, but it was like it just kind of flows, and I really like that contrast. And to me, that is the Nogizaka sound. This kind of carried over to a lot of their future kind of like singles and A-sides. It's what kind of like defined the Nogizaka sound for me. It has a really nice key change in the last chorus too, because the song's like super hopeful, right? I mean, Kimi no like Kibou is hope, right? It's all in the name and stuff, and so it's like it feels really positive and like uplifting and stuff. And so like when they do that key change at the end, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of the song for sure. And then like when you see this, like I think this song really lands for me when you see it in performances. Like especially like when there's like a graduation happening or something, and then this song comes up, you're like, oh, time for the feels.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just think it sounds really pretty.
I didn't re-listen to the song because I literally put just okay song, nice melody. I feel like I'm doing it in this service. Maybe just because like I listened to this album like maybe 2 or 3 times, like from, you know, front to back. So I made it as if boy likes it that much, it's warranted a re-listen, because
Like Nogizaka doesn't really have a hit, at least not in this album.
Well,
what do you mean by hit? Because I think there's a song that like fucking slaps in this.
Okay, so they as far as like mainstream popularity, I think, right? So when they were releasing singles and they were selling well, but there wasn't one that stuck, right? I keep coming back to AKB, but like AKB had like Heavy Rotation or like Aitakata, right? That's like when you.
What are you talking about? Nogizaka had Aitakata too.
Oh no, that was a terrible Aitakata. No, but like if you ask like some random person on the street or whatever, right? They can like name or hum a AKB song.
Yeah, like Morning Musume has like Red Night Revolution or Love Machine.
Yeah, or like Love Machine, whatever. But like Nogizaka didn't really have that, and so they tried to make Kimi no Nawa Kibou that song. So they performed this on their first appearance at Kohaku. Nogizaka is named after the street or whatever, and there's a train station called Nogizaka, and so like in Japan when the train arrives, it plays a jingle, right, depending on the station. And so in the station at Nogizaka station, it plays this song.
Mm-hmm. I can confirm it does play the tune.
Josh confirms. Thank you, Josh. That's why this is best song, dude.
Well, the next song is one of my favorites from Nogizaka,
Yes.
and that is Girls Rule.
Remember when I said Hashire Bicycle was my favorite song of Nogizaka before listening to this album? This song right here is my favorite
Ooh,
Nogizaka song.
there we go.
It's
There we go.
I mean, I can
Got
change.
him.
I can listen to album 3 or 4, or whatever. But this song fucking slaps. This is my jam. This is exactly what I want in idol music right here. This song right here.
I don't think Nogizaka has released a single that is as just like pure, like innocent idol pop as much as they have made like Girls Rule, right? This is idols
essence,
right
the
here.
essence.
This is my
It's just
soul,
so
man.
like pure, dude.
This
Like
is-
as an idol song.
This is exactly what I want in my idol music right here. Yeah.
There's no other like there's like no message, right? You know, Sakavichi, especially like Kiyakizaka, it's like so deep, bro. You know, so a lot of idol groups are doing that kind of stuff now, but like, yeah, Girls Rule is just like just pure innocent idol pop, dude. Just like
And you really get hyped for the song, like when it comes on. Like even in concerts, if you watch like a performance, everyone's like, "Oh, here comes the song, let's go!" Like even when I wrote down my notes, I was writing down the calls instead of writing down notes.
This must be hype to see live.
yeah, this is the song they kind of bring out at concerts to get everyone hyped.
Yeah, but as a serious note, I wrote like you could hear the difference having Mayim be a little bit more in the friends compared to Ikuma was before. I think just vocally that made a big difference in the group.
I really like that it's not just a straightforward kind of idol pop song. There's like interesting segments in there, like the transitions in some of the do 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 do, right? Like it builds up and like transitions to the next part, and then there's like all the saxophone.
Ooh, there we go.
Like you would think that it belongs there, but I mean it fits.
That solo's so
So-
good.
Yeah, the sax solo, dude.
Hmm.
Also, you know, Shirai Shimai is the center, and she's my favorite member.
Yeah, I mean, no bias over here, right? Right, boy? You know, we don't have a bias.
Yeah, Girls. I think it is one of the best Nogi songs.
And then changing the center after that, we have Baretta.
I thought it took a very sharp turn back to like Showa era idols.
Mm-hmm,
There's a very like old school style to it. There's like a flute.
I wrote in my notes, I dig the flute.
Flute's
That's
cool.
what it
I think
sounded-
that's the most interesting part about this song.
Yeah, I mean, it had a catchy arrangement. I think the arrangement was really nice, but kind of to like Boy's point, like very Showa era sounding, very like. It's just interesting to have. Well, I guess composition of this album, all they did was go chronological. So I was gonna say to myself like, well, it's interesting they put this right after Girls Rule, but it was just really the next single after Girls Rule. So it's not like they're trying to compose an album per se. It's just the next single, right? So it's just interesting. Like, why would you know?
Yeah, I think for me, this song is, like, I'll enjoy it if it comes on, but I'm not gonna go out and feel like listening to the song.
Yeah, same. So, it's okay. And then, yeah, they followed that up with Kizuitara Kata Omoi, another center. I keep saying like as if the center dictates how the song sounds. It doesn't. But I, mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's important to point out since Nogizaka is that kind of idol group.
Mhm.
Yeah, Kizuitara Kata Omoi has kind of a more folky style.
Yeah, I did the strings in the song a lot. How they, I noticed that a lot of these songs in this album they utilize strings, but in a very catchy way, which I really like. Like another catchy arrangement as well. But I really dig this one. It's more and more my favorite ones.
I like the melodies. The vocal melodies are nice.
Yeah, I think for me, the chorus is the most memorable part.
Mm-hmm.
And then that little break it does right before the last chorus, so good.
Where they say Kizuitara. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
a
Yeah.
step up Kizuitara, and then another time.
Yeah. I always like when idol songs.
How
do
many
that for some
keys,
reason.
bro? Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But then we take it back to some energetic pop rock with Natsuno Free and Easy.
This is another song that just has some pure idol vibes to it. I dig it. Summer song, uplifting, good energy.
The guitar taking over, dude.
No, this is a really good song. I mean, I think like, again, going back to me kind of getting cut off from the idol music scene after the third single from Nogizaka, I was pleasantly surprised how many good songs that definitely are up my alley were in this album and were released by Nogizaka. So, one does wonder how much of a Nogizaka fan I would have been if I stayed with it during this time, and how deep on the rabbit hole I have gotten. because there's some really good songs in here that I like a lot.
Natsu no Free and Easy, yeah, it's nice. Pretty straightforward. You're right. It's energetic and stuff.
I used to not like the song.
What?
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Like when I first heard it, I didn't really like it. I think it was too straightforward for me. Where it was like I almost felt like they were singing on the beat, and I was like, okay, it's kind of like I could predict it. But now I've come to appreciate it a little more.
Coming off songs like Kizuitara Kata Omoi and Barrette, right, which are more like unique, I guess, in terms of Nogizaka songs. 10th single Nandome no Aozoraka.
I think for me, this is another one that I'll listen to, but I won't seek it out.
This one's like a little not too memorable for me. It was an okay song.
Yeah.
I'll put like dramatic sounding, not too memorable. You know, it's not my cup of tea. You guys, after how many album discussions, the chat, not chat, the YouTube comments know what I like in my idol song. This isn't my cup of tea.
Yeah, when it came out, Aki P was like, "Oh, this is so good, guys. I wrote a good one for y'all.
We got a banger for you."
And it's okay, Aki P. I don't know, man.
Getting kind of older, Akifi.
I don't know, man.
I think he uploaded the wrong file when he.
Yeah, it's high. It's high.
Oh,
you
my
know?
B.
It's not my favorite Nogizaka song, but you know, it's okay. It's there. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the new songs now. There are 4 in this version that we listened to. First one is Dareka wa Mikata.
I've actually never listened to this song before.
Same. I think it's
Same.
It's not the whole lineup, so it's only a few members.
This ain't it, Chief. This isn't really.
Yeah, the members sound okay, right?
Slow pace again, kind of unforgettable.
Not very interesting to me.
Now I know what I probably listened to it in the past. I just forgot about it. To be honest,
I don't blame you.
The next one, Kakumei no Uma, sounds a bit more interesting.
A little spicy, right? The Mediterranean, like Arabian vibes, a little bit, right? Folky, yeah.
Yeah, I got like a kind of like fantasy, adventuring kind of feel.
That's something you mentioned because I put like this is a song that you probably hear in like a video game OST, like you're out in the adventuring, or like you have a trailer of a song. It's like a JRPG that's about to release a trailer. This is a song that you'd play during like fight sequences or something like that. It's how or exploring a dungeon. This is what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, for me, I'm really big on the vocals of the song. I like what they do with the vocals, like the melodies they play and everything.
I think it's one of the more interesting new tracks, at least in this version.
I like it.
The next one is Boku ga Iru Basho. And to me, this is kind of like the Nogizaka style.
Yeah.
A driving rhythm section with a really breezy instrumentation over it, and so it has that contrast, and I think they nail it pretty well.
I think the chorus has really got to me. It's like I really enjoyed the chorus of the song.
I especially like the second half, what they did with the chorus.
The arrangement was really good.
Yeah, it's like bouncy too. So
Yeah, having listened to a lot of Nogizaka songs before I listened to this song kind of felt like to blend in with everything else. But I think if you listen to it when it came out, it could have sounded maybe better.
And then we arrive to the last track of this album version that we listened to, which is on Spotify. Anato no Tame ni Hikitai. This is a solo track by Ikuta Erika, who is the center of 10th single, Nandome no Aozoraka. And I thought this was really nice.
Same here.
Piano ballad.
Piano
it's like a
ballads are always
waltz,
good.
you know? She's like one of the most talented members in the group, right? Plays piano and stuff, and she does stage plays all the time, so like that like level of performance is there. If you just like go back and watch her do performances of this song at like one of their more recent concerts, it's gotten much nicer.
Yeah, you'll hear the difference immediately.
Yeah. And so yeah, I thought this was really nice.
And I think it's a nice ending to the album. Like in a weird way, how they never arranged their albums. Somehow it just fell upon them that this was a good way to end the Spotify album.
You don't always need like a hype like song to close it out. You can kind of bring out a nice piano ballad just to tie everything together.
And I feel like if you have this like on your playlist, like let's say you have a playlist and you're looking at it, you're like, oh, next up, let's see what's next. Oh, it's this song. All right, I'm looking forward to it. It's not like a song where you're like, I don't know if I can skip it this time. You're like kind of looking forward to it.
It's a nice one at the end. So we've gone through all the tracks. It's in order this time. The first time we've ever done so.
The second time.
We've done like once or
Yes.
twice before, maybe. But
We did it for one when you weren't on.
Oh, okay. I wasn't there to witness. But yeah, 15 tracks. Just one CD. If you want to listen to the full release, the second CD has the coupling tracks from the 10 singles that's on this CD.
Yeah, there's some good songs in there too. So
Yeah, there are 4 additional tracks that are new on there too, and which includes another solo song. But that shit ain't on Spotify, dog. Also, it's too long. We ain't gonna review a 30-track album. Holy
this
shit.
video's long enough as it is already.
So like, I think that's our biggest problem with Sakamichi series albums. They're more of a compilation release than an actual like.
this may be our
album.
only Sakamichi album that we review, because of how long they are.
So
right?
it's really hard to like go through these because our attention spans aren't that long.
Getting old, man.
Now that we've talked about all the tracks, let's get some scores or your ratings for Nogizaka46's Toumei na Iro.
So I give this one, like, honestly, if we had 0.5 systems, I would give it a 7.5. But since Boy doesn't like 0.5s, I'm going to give it an 8.
Wow.
I'm giving this an 8 because I think it's a nice start of what Nogizaka eventually developed into their sound. I think there's little inklings and some songs that kind of sound like Nogizaka, but I think this really helps, like, drive and really is historically important. That's also why I gave it a higher score. There's classics on there, which can bring some emotion, as we saw with some of the songs, or can be hyped, like Girls Rule. There's a little bit a mix of instruments throughout the songs. Like, I know there's something that sounds like a bagpipe. Is that what it was? A bagpipe?
Sure.
Yeah.
There was like electronic sounds, strings, pianos, but I think it all kept together and kept like a somewhat consistent tone, which we can expect from a group backed by Sony. But I don't think I could ever give a Nogizaka or a Sakamichi album a 10 out of 10, just because it's ordered chronologically.
It's just the way they release them.
I think it has to be just like banger after banger after banger, and like no breaks. I think that's the only way, because chronologically, just like this, isn't the best listening experience to listen to everything in total. So yes, I give it an 8 out of 10.
This is okay. So I don't really go back to a lot of their tracks that was released. Like, I only go back to the ones I really like, and so I'm gonna give this a 5.
Oh,
It's I mean, I don't think Nogizaka is like the strongest idol group musically from the beginning anyway. But they do have like a certain sound that fits their image that only they can do for me. Like that really breezy sound that they have, but it's not really represented in this album. It's more on their next album, Sorezore no Isu. But as like a album that represents their formative years, right? It has some charm to it. This does have like 2 of my favorite Nogi songs, but it's not enough to carry it to an 8. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like a lot of these songs. I just don't go back to. I'm not gonna be like, oh shit, I totally need to listen to Dareka wa Mikata. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's how I feel about a lot of these tracks. And so, yeah. Is that bad that they're my favorite idol group and I gave their
No, I
album
think
a
it's fine,
5?
yeah.
That's pretty nutty. My
5 is like average, dude. Like,
yeah. I think also you might be comparing it to other Nogizaka stuff, right?
yeah, they have a sound that I like that I only go to Nogizaka for, which is really unique, I guess, when it comes to idol music, idol groups, right? So, but unfortunately, it's not in this album. So,
Take down that poster behind you right now.
that's from like 2 albums after. But yeah, I guess I would recommend this to if you're interested, right? There's a lot of variety. But yeah, it's a 5. Revoke my Sakamichi fan card.
I'm just gonna cut straight to it, break the ice. I am giving this album a 9 out of 10.
Oh,
I am now the new host of this. I have taken over this fake fan who gives.
Oh, I'm taking off this hat, dude.
So good.
For shame.
My reasoning for 9 out of 10 is because, like, I think Josh, your point that you just made about how like boys basing this off of like previous, or like the future sound that like Nogizaka has produced over the course of the years. Like for me, like this is the most music I've listened to from Nogizaka in forever. So this is kind of like a lot of these songs just really vibe with me. Like I said, they're really strong, idle, bubblegum pop, straightforward songs that maybe they might not be as complex as say some of their more recent songs, but this is something that I really enjoy listening to when I look for it in an idol song. So like Girls Rule is really great. Love that song. Natsuno, Free and Easy, also a great song as well. I mean, there's a couple like ones that are kind of unforgettable, and like the Overture, not as good as AKB48's, right? But like it is what it is. Hashire Bicycle, another, like I said, my 2012 song of the year. Can't forget about that one, right? So I mean, just like this, I'd be very interested, and I'm definitely gonna want to check out some of their newer albums and see how the songs and the music has evolved from this one. But yeah, I mean, right up my alley. Really good songs. Not that many songs that I would just dismiss. Mostly everything that I would want to listen to, I would enjoy from this album. So 9 out of 10. Lock it in.
Yeah, if you guys have any recommendations for Trons, like music
dude,
videos or anything,
open my eyes out, dude. I helped co-found a Sakamichi podcast. I listen to a lot of Sakamichi groups, but no, just educate me, please.
So together that brings us to 7 out of 10. If Boy voted one more, it would have been an 8 out of 10, but he didn't. So yes, 7 out of 10 for Nogizaka's first album. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can catch us next time on the next album discussion, or you can check us out on the Slope podcast, where we talk about Nogizaka46, and you get to see it every week, talk about the news and the TV shows. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. But for now, that does it all for us, and we hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.